Hey guys, I wanted to share an idea that I came across. It's nothing new, but it's called hexagonal thinking. I like it because it's easy to implement and it could spark some really good classroom discussions and also help kids with writing. So it's basically like using little hexagons and fitting them together like puzzle pieces to connect big ideas. So what you do is you start with some terms and some shapes. And this could be like you have them preset like what I have right now, or you could just start with the shapes and have kids come up with their own terms and then build the connections from there. Because we're in our distance learning format, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a template for you guys to make this in Google Slides. When we come back and we're in class, you can also print these out. But I'm going to kind of show you how this works. I'm a history guy, so I'm going to use World War I. So what they do is they take their pieces and they arrange them how they would go. So causes of World War I, if you're familiar, causes are main militarism, alliance systems, imperialism, and nationalism. And then kids can branch off from there. Like the alliance system, there were two big alliances, the Central Powers and the Allies. And then imperialism, nationalism, and nationalism branches off because it contributes to the assassination of Franz Ferdinand. Another good idea is to leave some squares blank or some hexagons blank and let the kids come up with their own ideas there. That would be really good because it allows them to put some things that they learned that maybe we didn't include. Now, you can also expand off of this, and this is where writing comes into play, and let the kids use arrows to point to a place where two hexagons meet, and they write about those connections and kind of expand on their knowledge. So I like this strategy because it has basically two levels. You can have level one, like over here, where kids are just making the connections and they're having discussions. And then level two is more focused on discussions and making connections, and you could have writing. Now, this could be done on an individual basis, or it would also be really good for groups. So, as I said before, the differentiation is really good because some kids may be able to do that level one, and other kids may be better equipped to do level two. So here's some ideas for grading your level one kids. Just look at the web and make sure their connections are solid and whether or not they participate in a classroom discussion. For level two, you're going to check for good connections and making sure students do a good job explaining their connections. All right, I'm going to also include some resources. Here's a video of a teacher doing a good job kind of explaining the general idea and giving some more ideas. This is a teacher talking about how she incorporates this strategy in her ELA classroom. And then lastly, there'll be a link to a podcast from a podcast called Cult of Pedagogy, talking about hexagonal thinking and really going in depth with it. Thank you. And if you guys need any help or you want to learn more, always feel free to reach out to me.